In a tentative ruling, San Francisco Superior Court Judge Curtis Carnow found the Los Angeles-based Metropolitan Water District of Southern California incorrectly set rates to transport water from the Colorado River to San Diego County from 2011 to 2014. Here to explain what this means and if someday it might result in a refund is Mike Lee with the San Diego County Water Authority. Welcome back, Mike.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I do want to let people know that the MWD declined our request for an interview, but issued this statement saying Metropolitan has prevailed in previous challenges, including SDCWA's last challenge to Metropolitan's rates, in which an adverse lower court decision was reversed on appeal. So just very briefly, Mike, do you have a response to that? They're basically saying, look, you know, we've been through this before and we've won before.
Well, certainly they are saying that, and what we have to go on in this case right now and the facts around this case is a judge's ruling in Superior Court that very squarely sides with the Water Authority's position.
This tentative ruling, which it is about water transport fees, not about the actual cost of the water. Why does San Diego think that the MWD charged the county excessive fees?
Well, essentially what was happening is that Metropolitan was loading unrelated fees onto the transportation rate. And under state law, as the judge agreed with us, that's not legal. The fees that they charge must be based on the actual cost of providing that service.
Okay. What did the judge have to say about the water transport fees? What is specifically, I know in general, he said that it violated some of the agreements, but specifically?
Well, that really is the heart of the case. I mean, he said that MWD was creating overcharges illegally because they were not grounding their rates on the principles of cost of service. And that was our basic contention from the beginning. And this has a profound impact here in San Diego County. Right now, Metropolitan is overcharging us about $50 million a year, and over, say, 45 years, that could grow to something in the neighborhood of $2 billion.
Let's talk about that. How much do you think that the MWD, if they're indeed charging $50 million more than they should be over a year, how much do you think they should repay the county in rebates?
Certainly. Well, that's going to come before the judge, but what we hope and expect is that the judge will direct Metropolitan to refund about $135 million that's been over-collected and contested by us since 2011. That money would then help us pay the legal fees for this and then be returned to our member agencies around the county.
So return to the member agencies, as you talked about, but yes, the legal process is going to continue on. And I believe San Diegans are still paying, the ratepayers are still paying the fees, correct?
Yes, absolutely. The Metropolitan has not altered its rate structure yet. We're hopeful that as a result of a final ruling, Metropolitan will be sent back to the drawing board to make its fees comply with the cost of service requirements in state law.
Let's say ultimately it all leans in your favor and the judges all agree with you down the line. How long could it be before ratepayers actually see any rebate or any of this money?
It could be months, it could be years before we get to that point. It really depends on a legal process that has taken 3.5 years to date, and we'll see whether there are appeals in this case or not. The first step is for the judge to finalize this decision in the first phase of the court case. We'll move on to phase 2 and hopefully retain a solid victory for this region.
But ultimately, could there be a rebate to ratepayers? It's not just going to stay up at the authority in the members' levels.
It's not going to stay I mean, we're going to pay our court fees out of whatever refund we get, and then that will go to the rest of the money will go to our 24 member agencies like the City of San Diego, Otay Water District, etc. And it will be up to those agencies to decide how best to use that money at that point.
And just real briefly, I have to end on this. We're getting a rainstorm this weekend. It's
Yes.
raining. Is that going to impact whatsoever any amount of water that we get from MWD?
Well, the thing that we can do here to impact our imported water is we can turn off our sprinklers for a week or 2 weeks even, and we can save together an enormous amount of water that can be essentially stored and used later to offset water that we might need, say, this summer or next year if it remains dry.
All right, Mike Lee, San Diego County Water Authority, thank you.
Thank you.